Alabama hills, just a little north of Mount Whitney. And every morning when the sun comes up, the first thing it does is it hits these high peaks in the high Sierra. Southern Sierra is really high, 14,000 feet I think, and then some. And then the Alabama hills are in between, and then these rock piles are the Alabama hills also, and they're much older and they're more worn, eroded. So you have these piles of rocks that are all in shadow, and then the high Sierras are alpenglow pink and peach and violet, and then the mid-range is like a pumpkin orange color. It's hard to see. The colors in this photograph are not very good, but you can see that this is lighter than this. So down in my foreground, darkest darks are going to be deep purpley color, and then this is more of a blue. It'll bring out the oranges in that pumpkin orange, and then up here is real pale peach pastel colors. This is the point that I'm at with it now, and what I did, the first color I printed was this pale, you can barely see it there, it's a pale peach color, and I made it go up into the sky and faded it out with extender so that it would have a soft edge. And I carved out all the white areas before I printed that peachy color. Then I carved out where I wanted to stay a peachy color, and I printed this pale pastel violet blue over the top of that, because your early morning sky is real pastel violet kind of a color. So I basically did one range at a time. So the high Sierra I did first in all these lighter, softer, more nuanced colors. And I've got these warm peachy colors. And then this mid-range, the second color comes down into the mid-range, and then I'm getting hotter, oranger colors because it was like this pumpkin orange there. And the last color that I've done was the darkest of the three shade in this mid-range. I put a glaze of like a blue with extender over the top of that and add a little bit of white because the blue interacts with the oranges underneath and it turned it too dark. So I wanted the blue to really show because blue is opposite of orange, and in color theory they enhance each other. My next print will be to cover all this foreground color that's going to be all in shadow, and this will all be cool violets and purples and the sagey green colors. So I'm just using solid white here because I just want it to be really opaque. This is Cobalt Dryer. It's a drying compound. The inks I use are oil base, and I just put a few drops of this in to help it to dry a little quicker. It's because the inks I use are oil base and they're notoriously slow at drying. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil. It's just an oil that goes, it's about the consistency of honey, but it'll make it roll out a little easier. I want to get a nice even layer of ink on my roller. You want to hear that sound, that Velcro sound. It's just going to go to here. I'm not going to cover the whole paper because that's already white down further. Because I'm wanting to cover up just where the ink went from the prior layers and bring this all back to white. So this is another mask. It's just some tracing film, and I'm putting it over this so that none of this ink, the errant ink that got into the upper portion of it, gets onto my print where I've already got the colors I want, because I don't want it white there. These are Turns Burton's tabs to line it up so that my registration, I can lift it and put it back down for each layer, and it'll always be in the same spot. And then I have my glass Boise Baron my husband got me for my birthday last year, which I love. And I'm just basically wanting to cover all this back to white. So I may have to do another layer, but basically that's how it works. This is a reduction print, so basically with each layer I carve away the block so it's destroyed. So I started out with 20 sheets of paper. Already you can see this one is going to be a proof because it fell into my ink puddle, but it's the colors I want, and I'm able to do my color planning and figuring things out on the proofs. So I end up with usually 17 good images by the time it's all done. So I've got already, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. So this I'm printing back to white, and that's 8. And I may do two layers of that. That'd be 9 layers. And then to get those other colors, it'll be probably at least 3 or 4 more layers.